How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a whole bunch of different items you can buy that are going to be going up in the near future since double XP has just ended. So when double XP hits, a lot of items will drop down way low in price, and they'll be even low in price right now too after double XP. If you buy these up and you choose the right items, you can make a considerable amount of money in a very short amount of time. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. I'm also going to show you guys exactly how to calculate how much you can earn from doing this and which ones you should be prioritizing. If you enjoy this content and want to see more of it, for sure hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, because after this video, you guys are going to see another video like this one in a couple days that will show you even more items to buy, so don't miss it. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it, and I'll just, just kind of jump on into it. I'm not really doing much edits in this video, to be honest, because I just want to show you, unedited, what I am personally buying. That's how you know that they are good things to invest into, because I am personally buying these myself. It's not just things where I'm like, hey, yeah, go buy this, and sure, maybe it'll work. These are things that I am personally buying myself, so I'm going to show you these. So let's go ahead and jump into the first item here, Packy Axe pouches. So as you can see right here, I am buying these Packy Axe pouches for below mid in this price, but right now you're probably going to want to be going a little bit above mid. And also, let me mention one really quick thing regarding all the prices in this video. All the things in this video, the prices may or may not be what price you will be buying them for, because as this video gets a little bit older, even on the day of the video, prices are going to be fluctuating and changing frequently. As you can see, I bought these mahogany planks for 721 each. I got a little bit of gold back, but I don't know if they're going to be buying for exactly 721 when you guys go try to do it. Just try to buy these things for as low as you possibly can. That is kind of the idea here, and I will also show you exactly how to check to see if the price you're paying is a good price or a bad price. So let's actually go ahead and take these mahogany planks for our first example, come to think of it, and I'll show you guys using this item right here how you can determine whether it's a good price or a bad price. So I'm buying these mahogany planks for 721 GP each. As you can see, the mid price right here is a 756. We're not really going to be paying that much attention to the mid price though in most of these items, because it's not really relevant to what we're doing. So our plan here when we buy these is one of two things. Actually, kind of one of three things. Either number one, buy some supplies for yourself while they're really cheap, and then be able to save them up and use them to do some really cheap skilling. That's one really great option. The next option is going to be to buy these up right now for really cheap, and then sell them in like a week or two when the price gets back to the kind of like the 6-month average margin. I'll kind of explain a little bit more of that in a bit here. And then the last option to do is to once again buy these up really cheap and then sell them to other players on either the forums or the Grand Exchange on the next double XP when they skyrocket in price. So if we have this item right here, we have mahogany planks at 721 GP each is what I'm paying on them. I have a buy limit of 10,000. You want to aim for things that are going to give you a pretty good return. So the way you want to calculate this, honestly, is how much of a return on your investment are you getting? And so we can look at that by looking onto the internet. And then I've already got it open here for the Grand Exchange Market Watch for the Runescape Wiki Mahogany Planks. Just look up Mahogany Planks on Runescape Wiki, and then you will find these graphs here. So if you look on these graphs, you want to put it on probably like the 1 year or the 6 month. Either one is going to be pretty accurate. Something else you can also research on your own is by looking on the RuneScape wiki and finding out when the most recent double XPs were, and also like, when double XPs are and stuff like that, because if you look at the graphs on these, you can see when things take a dip or rise or whatever is usually due to a double XP event. As you can see right here, there's a rise because of our double XP that just happened. There's another rise here, another rise here. There's a big, gigantic rise back here. So just finding out when double XPs are is very important if you're going to be buying up things that are dropping or rising because of double XP. So educate yourself in that way first. That way you understand really what you're looking for in these graphs. So I'm going to show you guys anyway to make just make it very easy for you. So if we look right here, we can see that the red line is going to be our average. And then we can see the blue line is going to be the current GE price. So the current GE price on this graph is like, it's mostly accurate, but as you can see right now, we're buying below the GE mid. So just keep in mind that whatever prices you see on this graph could be above or could be below, but that's roughly where it's at. What you really want to pay attention to though, guys, is going to be that red line, because that red line is going to give you the 30-day average. My apologies, the 30-day average. If you look on a 6-month time frame though, you know what I'm talking about with 3 to 6 month averages. We want to look back on times where there is no double XP if you're going to be hoping to sell these back in a couple weeks. So Right now we're paying, let's go back to our account. Right now we're paying 721 GP each. And if you're like, hey, is that actually a good price to be paying? You can look right here on a time where there is no double XP, and you can see that the average, the 30-day average is 801 gold. So you know that by going just by that 30-day average, these should return back to about 801 gold at a minimum within a couple weeks period. And so if we do that quick math there, let's go ahead and pull up my calculator, wherever it is. Okay, calculator time. We're buying them for 721 GP each. We're going to be selling them for 800. So if we do 800 minus our buying price of 721, we get 79. We take that times the 10,000 buy limit. That means that every stack of 10K of these that we buy, if we're hoping to sell these back within, you know, a week or 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks if an item is really slow, we're going to be looking to make 790,000 gold every 4 hours by buying these mahogany planks. That means that if you leave offers in these, like if you leave this kind of offer in there for a full 24-hour period, doing nothing, simply just throwing in your offer, you can make 4.7 million gold per day. Let's say they take a week to return to the price, and you know, obviously here's where it gets a little bit like unsure, because like I said in the very beginning of the video, you might have to update your price. The chance of the price staying the exact same is not too likely. You'll have to slowly increase it as you go, most likely. Just keep that in mind too. So, but if we do a 721 or something similar to that, then we can make 33.2 million gold per week. And that is a pretty amazing amount of money for doing literally nothing. All you do is throw in your first offer, babysit it every once in a while, and update the price as you go. As you can see by our graph though, the actual GE price does sometimes go far above the 30-day average. Actually, in most cases on here, it's above the 30-day average. So the 800 is a very, very, very like safe amount. So keep that in mind too, guys, that is just how good an item like Mahogany Plank is right now to stock up, is because no matter what we looked at on that graph, it has never been this cheap on the graph. So that's how we know this Mahogany Plank is a really good item. Something else to consider too is looking up for double XP prices themselves, and you can find that out by looking at the graph a little bit. But the only problem with looking at graphs for double XP prices is the double XP like peak price tends to be a little bit more than the graph ever showed. When what I mean by that is if we look at Mahogany Planks right here at 933 each, that is about the time when people were hardcore stocking for this most recent double XP. If we look at this for an example, we can see 933. It was actually a little bit above 933. It was close to 1,000 each. So if you're going to be holding on to these supplies that you're buying right now until the next double XP, then you want to kind of aim for this double XP peak price. Also, one more thing to consider is that if you were to sell these items on the forums, then you can get more than the grand exchange value. So instead of 1,000, maybe it's 1,050 or 1,100. You can kind of tack on a little bit more money that way. If we're looking at how much money we can make by stocking these up for double XP, I'm going to do kind of a brief math for this one. Let's say they were going for 990 in the grand exchange for a peak price. I remember seeing this as an instant buy recently, so I know this one exists. And we subtract how much we're currently paying for them of 721. That's 269 per plank. If we stocked up 100,000 of these planks, then that means we make 26.9 million by holding on to them for the next double XP. At an investment of 72.1 million gold, that is a pretty good return. 100. That's like a 40% return on your investment or something close to that. It's like 30 or 40% between that, which makes them a pretty amazing item overall, whether you're going to be doing them short term or long term, holding on to them until double XP. Regardless, guys, I'm going to be buying as much of these as possible. I usually will stock up a couple million Mahogany Planks just because they're always good, like I showed you. So next thing in here is something like a Teak Plank. A Teak Plank is another really great example. People need these for construction. That's something else you really want to think about when you're trying to think about what are these items you should be buying, is not only those graphs, but you also want to be like, hey, why are players going to be buying these? Because if there's no reason for players to buy them, then the chances of you being able to sell off large quantities of them in the future gets a little bit hairy. Because if there's your supply has to meet the demand, or the demand has to be a little bit higher than your supply. If I have 50 million Teak Planks in some alternate universe, and I bought them up and people don't really care about them that much, maybe I'd sell off 5 million of them before I'm stuck with 45 million of them. So before you overly stock on something, just keep that in mind too, that you want it to be a very high demand product. And also the keeping it in a high demand item will also keep you safer from an item falling in price. By the way, guys, real quick here, in our Discord down below, you guys can feel free to leave me any kind of messages. You can DM me directly. I'm in Discord all the time. We also have an investing mastery section that has a giant spreadsheet of all these different types of items that you can look into for double XP, post double XP, pre double XP, whatever. It's all on there. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to go check it out. But anyway, let's keep on going. Water talismans. So water talismans are another great example. These things are buying for very, very, very cheap right now. I've been picking these up for about 4,000 gold a piece. That's actually pretty amazing. And you can see I got a little bit of gold back for doing 4,000 a piece, which means that you could probably be buying them for a little bit less. If we go back to our wiki page here really quick, and we look up a water talisman, boom. So this is also how you do it, by the way. You quite simply just type in water talisman, wait for it to load, because your internet is slow, and then you go to enlarge the chart down here, and then you can see what they're at. As you can see, for our most recent double XP, they hit at least 6,000. That's kind of a good way to do it. Kind of like how I just mentioned how the prices are usually up and above. Just like look at that peak price as an at least that amount of money. So at least 5,912, which means that if you're buying these things right now, that is an insane amount of money. That is quite literally a 50% return on your investment. I don't even have to do the calculator for that one. That is literally a 50% return on your investment, which means if you have 100 million invested into water talismans, you're looking at 150 million by the time you sell them. That's pretty amazing. And even if you're not waiting for double XP, look at the average price on these guys. It is like 54, 55, 53. They are considerably higher than anything. They have literally never been as low as they currently are. They could drop a little bit more, maybe, but the thing is, when we're buying them for 4,000 a piece, the risk definitely outweighs the gains. There is risk involved in buying these things up, but like honestly, I'm not worried about it a bit. You really shouldn't be worried about it either. Looking into grapes. Grapes are another fantastic item to buy up. They have a lower buy limit, just like those water talismans. When an item has a lower buy limit, you can tend to buy it low, far lower than the mid price. And the reason why is because when there's if somebody puts a large stack of them out there for sale, and the buy limit is lower, that means that the people trying to buy their supply is going to take a lot longer to do that, and you just have a much better window of trying to get it for a low price. As you can see right here, how I'm paying $26.31. I started this price when they were like 3,000 each in the GE, and as you can see, I'm still buying them for almost 200 less than what they're going for in the GE. These were at one point buying for about 2,300 a piece. It was amazing. I've already stocked up several thousand of these, and I'm going to continue stocking up more and more of these. Grapes are a very... Oh, look, we just got some. We just got some right here. Boom, look at that. Live, on live. These grapes are a really great thing to stock up to sell to people on the forums because they only have a buy limit of 1,000, and people typically go through about 4,200 grapes per hour when you're training with these, which means that if people actually want to use these for double XP training, they have to stock up a whole lot, and if they didn't stock up a whole lot before, they're going to be buying yours. So this is a really, really great example of an item that you can sell for a lot more on the forums than you can get for them in the GE, actually. This last double XP, people on the forums are selling the grapes plus the jug of water, which the jug of water is like 30 gold and has a 10,000 buy limit. You don't really have to stock those up early, honestly. But people were selling the grapes plus a jug of water for about 4,000 gold per set. That means if you're buying these grapes right now for about 2,600 a piece, you're looking at a pretty immense profit on these things. And also, if you check at the graphs on grapes, you can see they're still far above this price here, even for those people not planning on holding them till double XP. But grapes honestly are a pretty like on point item for someone who's looking for a double XP investment. Next here, we're going to look at diamonds. So diamonds, as you can see, I've been buying a killer amount of them very fast for about 606 gold a piece. Once again, an item that is not really this low ever and is just going to go up. Also, diamonds are something that is used in crafting all the time, used for different jewelries and stuff like that. Worst case scenario, guys, I'll tell you, worst case scenario, you can simply disassemble these for really good components, or you can just craft them yourself or on your alt account and then get all your money back. There's really not really much worry when it comes to diamonds because they're just a really solid item that have been in RuneScape since the all of eternity, and the chances of them just bottoming out again is not very high. They've already bottomed out now, and they're 600 a piece for the cuts. That's really, really cheap for a cut diamond, and I really don't predict them going much lower than this. And if you check those graphs also, this is a really great item that recovers pretty well after double XP. I would expect to sell these for anywhere from 800 to 1,000 a piece within a few weeks. And with a 5,000 buy limit, oh yeah, it's good. Looking into Uncut Dragonstones. So Uncut Dragonstones is my favorite item in the game, actually. The reason why is because a lot of rich players, I'm not really calling myself rich, I don't really care, but a lot of rich players in the game will say, will like buy up shards or party hats, stuff like that. I actually prefer to buy Dragonstones. That's like my thing I've always bought into is Dragonstones to hold my wealth. And as I'm dying, look, looks like someone's going to inherit my Dragonstones because I'll be dead. So the Uncut Dragonstones, guys, are a really awesome, exciting thing right now because very recently the buy limit was increased to 5,000 and it used to be 500. Things that have a very high buy limit tend to go up a lot during double XP, and the reason for that just being the fact that people can hoard them really fast in double XP and bring that supply right down, and the demand is still really high up. During this last double XP, I was selling Uncut Dragonstones on the GE for 16,500 each. If we just do some quick math right here, we look at 16,500 each minus the price that I'm currently paying of 11,600 each. We're looking at 4,900 a piece. If we were to buy a million of these, not saying most people can buy a million of these, but let's say we bought a million of these, then just holding these till double XP would make 4.9 billion gold just by buying some Dragonstones. Seems like a pretty good idea. And if you were going to not buy a million of them, which is pretty dramatic and not realistic for most players, you can also look into buying 100,000 of them, and that would make you 490 million profit buying them at this price, assuming they go back to 16.5k, which honestly is quite probable since the fact that this is the first time Dragonstones have ever had a realistic buy limit. Then that will actually make people want to train crafting more on double XP because they can actually stock up the supplies for once. So this next double XP could really be the sweet spot for Uncut Dragonstones. Looking into not my sales history, which is nothing actually cool in there anyway. Packy Axe. So Packy Axe are just a very solid item that has been a price of 40.50 to 42.50 for like all of eternity, and I'm buying them right now for 40.23. Right now, realistically though, you could probably offer like 40.34 because the mid price is increased, and I just really buy them for like 1 GP over mid like all day long, and I just continuously get them all day long. They're a really awesome item to stock up because they're just really solid. The amount of profit you're going to make on these things is not that great at 40.23. You can expect to make something like 80 each, which is still 400,000 gold every 4 hours. It's nothing crazy, but it's also nice and solid if you just have you just want to play it safe, I guess. But something else with these two is this is not something to hold on until double XP. This is something to sell within a week or two. So this is a much shorter investment. So if you're looking for that, then go. Super Invention Potions, just honestly, these are just like the same thing as most every other potion that people use for training on double XP. These right here are buying for extremely low. That's the reason why I'm stocking them up. I'm paying 1,800. Their mid price is 2,800. If you check the graphs, you can see they go to like 3,000 a piece. It just seems like a no-brainer thing to buy. They just have a 1,000 buy limit, so you do buy them slower. But for people that have lower amounts of money that still want to get that really juicy return on investment, these are a really great option for that. Potions in general are really good for someone who has a lower amount of money because they tend to rise pretty dramatically in price when they do go up. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. In the next video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys some more items just like this that you guys can invest in right now and then make a lot of money. So if you enjoyed this content, please hit that like, share it on your social medias, and then tag me on at RS Manatee Gaming on Twitter. My Twitter is down below. If you tag me on there, then I'll be sure to leave a comment for you. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the content. See you next time.